Okay, the motion passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you. First, I'd like to start any public participation for agenda-related items. Seeing none, we'll move on to the consent agenda.
Thank you. The items on this evening's consent agenda are as follows. A, approval of minutes. 1, village board meeting, January 23rd, 2024. 2, village board meetings. Village board special meeting, strategic planning, February 13th, 2024. 3, village board work session meeting, February 13th, 2024. B, action. Proposed residential waste hauler contract. Motion to approve an agreement between LRS and the Village of Grange Park for the residential collection and transportation of municipal solid waste, and authorize the village manager to execute the necessary documents. C, action. 2023 parking restrictions. Motion to remand the matter back to the Traffic Safety and Engineering Committee, TS&E, for reconsideration of the 2023 parking restrictions. D, action. Accounts payable and payroll summary. Motion 1, to authorize the president and chairperson of the Finance Committee to sign the register for bills and authorize the treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in payment of operating bills and salaries as itemized in the check registers. And motion 2, to authorize the village treasurer and village clerk to sign checks in the payment of payroll and other bills that become due between this date and the next village board meeting, with subsequent approval of the payroll register and voucher register by the Board of Trustees at its next meeting.
Can I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented?
So moved.
Second.
Motion approved.
I've-
Oh, sorry.
Trustee Zora?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. Trustee Council?
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan?
Yes.
Trustee Stewart?
Yes.
Trustee Caputo?
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you. Moving on to the village manager's report. Julia?
Thank you. I have 3 items to report on this evening, none of which are included in the packet for this evening's meeting. The first is regarding the Finance Committee meeting to review the draft budget that the board will be considering at the April board meeting. That meeting will take place on March 12th at 6 p.m. The second item I wanted to provide an update on is regarding the banner program that was approved by the village board at the last meeting. At your place settings this evening are the proofs for the banner program commemorating and celebrating J.J. McCarthy. That is there for you to take a look at. If you have any comments or questions, please see me. Happy to provide that feedback and consider that for any potential changes. The final item I wanted to report on this evening is regarding the redevelopment study being done for the Jewel outlots by SB Friedman. We anticipate that this study will be wrapping up next week, and we will receive a preliminary report, and staff will review that, and we are hoping that SB Friedman is going to be available at the March 12th work session meeting to provide the results of their study, again, for the Jewel outlot study. And with that, that concludes my report this evening.
Thank you, Julia. Moving on to the administrative committee. Trustee Council?
Thank you, President Pro Tem. My administration report is as follows. The State of the Village address. The village hosted a State of the Village reception on February 12 at Post 031. Thank you to the many community members who joined village officials and staff for this annual event. This year, the village developed a dynamic video presentation to highlight news and accomplishments from the past year. The State of the Village video premiered at the event and is now available on the village's YouTube channel. Community Arbor Day nominations. National Arbor Day is Friday, April 26th. The village is accepting nominations to plant a tree in honor or in memory of a person or group that has made a positive contribution to the community. Trees are planted in a public space during a ceremony, and a small plaque is installed at the base of the tree. Visit the village's website to download the nomination form and submit your nomination by April 5th. Contact Sandy Backledge for more information. The next item is the broadcast equipment upgrade. The general background. The village is seeking to purchase and install 4 new wall-mounted cameras for the boardroom. These cameras would replace the existing 2 tripod cameras that are used for broadcasting the monthly village board meetings. The additional cameras would allow for a more complete view of the boardroom, which includes the dais, tables, lectern for public comment, and presentations, and audience area. Cameras would be installed under the soffits with cables running through the ceiling from each camera location to the media rack in the server room for connection to a new power over Ethernet switch and switcher. Current cabling would remain in place and could be used if additional cameras were ever needed for a special event or other occasion. Village staff worked with staff from LTTV and Key Code Media, Inc. to develop the scope of services for this project. Key Code Media provided a cost estimate, which includes the equipment purchase, installation, training, and support. Staff requested proposals from 3 other companies, but did not receive any responses. According to the LTTV broadcast manager, there are not many companies that would provide this scope of services. The Key Code Media proposal is in our packet, and the total cost for the project is $31,829. As has been past practice for upgrading necessary broadcast equipment, the village would request grant funding from the West Central Cable Agency to cover the entire project cost. This item is for discussion and action. Therefore, I'd like to make a motion to waive the competitive bid process and approve a contract with Key Code Media, Inc. for the purchase and installation of 4 wall-mounted cameras for the Village Hall boardroom in an amount not to exceed $31,821, and to authorize the village manager to execute the necessary contract documents.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Trustee council discussion.
Yes, Trustee Zora, thank you. One of the concerns that I had was if we're able to obtain any grant monies, and based on an inquiry, a trustee inquiry, and staff's input, that we are able to seek out grants and to seek approval for extra funding for this project. And my concern was also that we're doing this project prior to the new fiscal year budget being implemented. And I guess I have a question for Julia. Since we are going to seek grant money, would it still be appropriate to wait until this budget is completed, or based on the information that I read earlier, we can get grant money for this. So is that going to tie up our funds, without getting the grant money?
We would have to purchase this equipment. The village has money or funding to be able to purchase that. As soon as it's done, we would apply, we would request the check. So if you look back, sorry, I'm fumbling, a lot of words going on in my head, but if you reference the trustee inquiry that was distributed, what we will be doing is seeking grant reimbursement, so formal authority from the cable agency on April 2nd. And all that will be required to issue the check is the work being completed, number one, and secondly, proof that we made the payment. And then they will issue the check. And I would not issue the check. The village manager from the village of Western Springs would come to Grange Park, write the check, and then we would be able to deposit it. So as soon as the project is complete, we will have the funding available to make the bank transaction to deposit into our account.
Okay, that's great. Thanks for your information.
Yeah, sorry it was a little wordy.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Okay. Seeing none, Megan, call the roll.
President Pro Tem Zora,
Yes.
Trustee Council,
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan,
Yes.
Trustee Stewart,
Yes.
Trustee Caputo.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Megan. And thank you, trustee council.
Thank you, President Pro Tem.
I will give the Building and Zoning Committee report right now for January 2024. 37 building permits were issued in January 2024 compared to 30 issued in January 2023. As of January, the pace of permit submittals year to date exceed the pace of submittals at this time last year by approximately 23%. Estimated construction costs for the last month were just over $554,000, which is significantly less than January 2023. Permit fees collected last month were just over $10,000, which is less than the just over $18,000 of permit fees collected in December 2022. The decrease in estimated construction costs and permit fees can be attributed to a decrease in number of large-scale projects that were permitted this year. 103 building inspections were conducted this past month compared to 112 in January 2023. 2 were not approved. Total of 23 new code enforcement cases were recorded last month. 10 of these projects were closed out, and the remaining 13 cases require further code enforcement actions. And that's all I have to report for Building and Zoning. Engineering and Capital Projects Committee, Trustee Stewart, please.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. I have 3 items here for the Engineering and Capital Projects report this month. The village advertised for bids for the 23-24 sewer cleaning and televising program. Proposals for the project will be open on February 5th. After project award and contract execution, the contractor will begin work and should complete the project by the end of March. This is a yearly maintenance program in the village. After completion, the contractor will provide videos and data logs of all the sewers inspected. This information will be reviewed to determine if any sections of the sewers need point repairs or are good candidates for sewer lining. It is important to keep combination sewers clean so they are capable of discharging as much flow as possible. The village advertised for bids for the 23-24 sewer lining project. After project award and contract execution, the contractor will begin work and should complete the project by the end of April. This is also a yearly maintenance program in the village that involves lining sections of sewer that are in poor condition before they are in need of complete replacement. This year, both combination sewers and storm sewers will be candidates for lining. Lastly, the village advertised bids for 2023-2024 sewer repair program. After project award and contract execution, the contractor will begin work and should complete the project by the end of April. The project involves point repairs on sewers located throughout the village that were identified by recent televising and cleaning projects. The sewer sections identified for repair represent isolated segments of sewers that need replacement to keep from collapsing or have accessible infiltration through the joints or pipe cracks. And that concludes my report this evening.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Trustee Caputo with the Public Safety Committee.
Yes, thank you, President Pro Tem. I have 2 reports. One, first of all, for the Police Department summary activities of January 2024. In addition to the attached statistic summaries, the following items are being reported to apprise the village president and the board of trustees on current police department operations for the month of January 2024. The total number of crimes for the first month of 2024 are approximately 50% lower than last year, with 16 incidents reported this year compared to 34 in 2023. Traffic enforcement is at 223 total tickets issued through January of 2024. Overall, police activity is 31% lower to last year, with 931 total incidents reported through January of 2024 compared to 1281 total incidents through January of 2023. Of those 931 total incidents, 80 were assist to the fire department, 215 were self-initiated building or park checks, 139 were traffic stops, 24 were school crossing details, and 64 were closed home checks. Department members attended 118 and a half hours of training, along with the completion of required monthly online training and Lexipol daily training bulletins. All police department staff completed the required annual sexual harassment training, including the crossing guards. All sworn staff took part in the Megget training at Brookfield Zoo. This is scenario-based use of force training, and OIC Tim Burry became a certified rapid deployment instructor for department members, along with the fire department. Along with the fire department will be partaking in training in the coming months. And events, mark your calendars and do not miss out on the upcoming police department special events. We have the Polar Plunge for Illinois Special Olympics. This event will be taking place on Saturday, March 16th at the Oak Brook Bath and Tennis Club. The plunge starts at 1 p.m. More information can be found on the police department's Facebook page, including how you can donate to this great cause. Please follow the police department on our Facebook page at LaGrange Park Police Department, our Twitter page at LaGrange Park PD, and Instagram at LaGrange Park PD. A friendly reminder about securing one's personal property at all times. Please lock your vehicles and residence, especially during overnight hours. If you are going on vacation, please utilize the new online vacation watch portal, frontlinepss.com/LaGrange Park, or log onto the village website and access the portal under the police department page. If you do not have internet access, feel free to fill out a vacation watch card at the police department between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4:30 p.m. And that concludes my police report. Now on to my fire department report for the month of January 2024. As requested for the insertion into the village board meeting agenda packet, the following is a brief summary of the fire department activity highlights for the month of January. As usual, a more comprehensive monthly report is kept within the department for your review. EMS incidents this month equaled 167. There have been 167 year-to-date compared to 145 year-to-date in 2023. Fire rescue incidents this month equaled 54. There have been 54 year-to-date compared to 38 year-to-date in 2023. Both fire stations were being staffed during several shifts in response to the winter storm warning during the month. Although no significant fire incidents occurred, we had a more timely response and better navigated the snow and wind on EMS calls. Two of our PSI staff, Ivan Garcia and Maddie Ulrich, successfully passed American Heart Association training and certification as CPR and AED instructors. Following training and preparation, the department transitioned to use a new patient care reporting system implemented by the Loyal EMS, our resource hospital. An engine 121 was taken out of service for 3 days for a few warranty issues to be addressed. Staff witnessed initial pressure testing for several fire sprinkler systems at the homes being constructed at Kensington Place. Also, fire sprinkler and alarm inspection and testing was conducted for the library. And that concludes the fire report. Thank you, President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Trustee Caputo. Trustee Sheehan, Public Works Committee, please.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. Staff repaired 4 water main breaks and replaced 1 lead service line. A new fire hydrant was installed in the 1500 block of Beach as well. Public Works was kept busy in January with numerous snow events. Salting and plowing operations totaled 291 tons of salt used, applied on 2,115 miles of roadway. The average rate for roadway salting was 277 pounds per lane mile. Pothole season is now in full swing and crews were dispatched daily to make repairs. Staff was sent to the local 150 training facility this month to improve skills with heavy machinery. Dawson Tree Service had been selected to complete the cycle pruning program this year. A pre-construction meeting was held earlier in the month and trimming should be completed by mid-February. Holiday decorations were removed from Poets Corner and the 31st Street Business District and put into storage for next season. GIS work has continued collecting data on village-owned assets along with continued training throughout the village. Water meters were read in Section 1. 15 monthly bacterial water samples were taken along with quarterly Stage 2 samples. Various water and sewer work orders were completed along with resident tree concerns and general construction inquiries. Routine maintenance to the department's fleet and equipment was also completed, as well as on police and fire vehicles. I have one action item. 2023-24 sewer repair program contract award. The purpose is to approve a contract with Suburban General Construction for sewer repair work necessary to improve and rehabilitate sewer pipes throughout the village. The village contracts sewer cleaning and televising each year at various locations. Hancock Engineering identifies locations needing repairs during these inspections and creates a list. From this list, 2 locations on Alima Terrace, 1 location on Stonegate, and 1 on Deer Path are in dire need of repairs. These point repairs will reduce the chances of total pipe failure and minimize the likelihood of sewer backups in nearby homes. The contractor will complete these repairs by the end of April 2024, including final restorations. You see the bid amounts that came in. Suburban General being the lowest, $71,190, with the engineer's estimate coming in at $100,372.50. In the fiscal year 23-24 budget, $100,000 is allocated in the sewer fund, capital outline 510-70-80510 for point repairs. Staff recommends entering into a contract with Suburban General Construction. Therefore, I make a motion, 1, to approve a contract with Suburban General Construction in the amount of $71,190 for the 2023-2024 sewer repair program, and 2, to authorize the village manager to execute the contract documents.
Second.
We have a second. Trustee Sheehan, discussion?
Thank you, President Pro Tem. I support this. Suburban General's worked good with the village before. I love the fact how under budget the engineer's estimate came in. And definitely good preventive maintenance to stop the likelihood of catastrophic failure. So I support this.
Thank you. Any other comments from the board? Seeing none, Megan, call the roll, please.
President Pro Tem Zora,
Yes.
Trustee Council,
Yes.
Trustee Sheehan,
Yes.
Trustee Stewart,
Yes.
Trustee Caputo.
Yes.
The motion passes unanimously.
Thank you, Megan and Trustee Sheehan. Thank you. Finance Committee, Trustee Stewart in place of Trustee Louder.
Thank you, President Pro Tem. This memo summarizes the village's general fund performance through January 24. The village has completed 9 months or 75% of fiscal year 2024, which began May 1st and concludes April 30th. The detailed revenue and expense report and comparison charts are also attached for your review. Fiscal year-to-date general fund revenue of $7,560,646 is at 70.7% of the annual budget and $282,070 or 3.6% lower than last year. Property tax receipts are $262,538 greater than last year, which will still partially due to the timing issues with Cook County's extension tax extension and the collection process. While also delayed this year, Cook County mailed out the second installment bills later in 2022, resulting in higher collections compared to this time last year. Other local taxes are lower by $106,959 or 11.6% due to lower utility and telecom tax receipts. Natural gas tax is down over 37% following the decline in prices compared to 2022. Intergovernmental receipts for the period are down $14,020 or 0.5% from last year. Sales tax continues to trend above last year, while income tax, state use tax, and personal property tax replacement are lower. Decrease in income tax was expected following the significant increase last year. Based on current Illinois Municipal League estimates, the total income tax for the fiscal year will be slightly above budget. Personal property replacement tax is expected to trend lower due to reallocation of prior year's distributions following a reconciliation by the Illinois Department of Revenue, but still above budget. Licenses and registration fees are $4,170 or 1.5% lower than prior year. Permit receipts are $485,382 or 55.2% less than the prior year, primarily due to higher permit fees received last year for the Plymouth Place project. Charges for services are $116,017 or 13.9% lower than last year due to ambulance fee revenue offset by payments due to the state for the village's participation in the GEMT program. The state was behind in collecting their portion of the fee for 2022. Fine revenue is $18,081 or 23.6% lower than last year. Miscellaneous revenue is $200,021 or 134% greater than last year due to increased interest income. Lastly, the total general fund expenditures are of $7,169,833, are at 70.2% of the annual budget, and $279,270 or 4.1% greater than last year. All departments are within budget expectations. And that concludes my report this evening, President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Other reports, Village Clerk.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Zora. Just a reminder, the presidential primary election is coming up and is going to be held on March 19th, 2024. Key dates related to the primary election, along with election date information, can be found on the Cook County Clerk's website. And that's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Village Attorney.
No report.
Village Engineer.
No report.
Village Treasurer.
No report, President.
Or Larry. Commercial Revitalization Committee, Trustee Stewart.
Thank you, President Pro Tem Zor. Happier Now on the 1016 East 31st Street. Save the date for the grand opening event at Happier Now Cafe and Market on Friday, March 8th at 3 p.m. The Village and the Grange Park Chamber of Commerce look forward to celebrating the opening of this local business with a ribbon cutting ceremony. Branding and Identity Plan RFP. On February 1st, the Village issued a RFP request for proposals for assistance with developing the branding and identity plan. This plan will create a clear, strong, and cohesive identity for the Village and will be used to implement streetscape improvements and improve signage and navigation. A pre-proposal meeting was held on February 5th. Consultants will submit their proposals by March 15th. And lastly, the CRC committee. Please stay up to date on what's happening in Grange Park by attending the Village's Commercial Revitalization Committee meetings. The CRC meets regularly to discuss how the Village can best support new and existing businesses and enhance the commercial areas in town. Upcoming topics will include the redevelopment studies for the outlook north of Jewel Osco and the Jiffy Lube and Superior Cleaners properties, as well as updates on streetscape planning and implementation projects for the Village Market and 31st Street. Check your calendar page on the Village's website for upcoming meetings and dates and agendas. And that concludes my report this evening, President Pro Tem.
Thank you, Trustee Stewart. Can I have a motion to approve the committee and collector's report as presented?
So moved.
Second.
And then Megan, a voice vote, please.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
Oh,
Aye.
aye.
All opposed?
Thank you. Motion carried. I have no additional reports tonight. Is there any public participation or new business? No. Seeing none, motion to adjourn.
Second. So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Thank you.